Hi, my name's Zara, and I started betting on football last year. I enjoy doing futures bets, and last year I decided that I wanted to try to be a profitable football bettor. So I made a big bet on the 49ers winning the Super Bowl, and once they got to the Super Bowl, I decided to hedge my bet and bet half the money on the Chiefs. So I guaranteed myself a half a win. And I don't see too many YouTube videos talking about how to make NFL futures bets, betting on the Super Bowl, betting on winning the AFC or NFC championship, winning the division. And there's a lot of bad bets out there. There's a lot of bets that you can make that give just horrible odds. So I figured I'd make a quick video giving you my analysis about how to go about making profitable NFL bets. Now, mind you, I'm not a professional sports bettor. I was a professional poker player. I do like odds and statistics. So hopefully this helps some of you trying to decide what team to bet on, and you can bet alongside me. So to start off, first of all, Kansas City and the Baltimore Ravens are probably considered the two best teams by most people. They had to play each other last week, and the Ravens lost, so they dropped down 1, 2, or 3 spots, depending on the NFL rankings you were looking at. But the Chiefs are definitely in first place. They're definitely the best team in the NFL right now. So if I'm going to make a bet, I'm either going to bet on the Chiefs, if I'm getting good odds, and I'm going to try to avoid betting against the Chiefs in every situation because I want to win. So if I'm going to bet on the Chiefs, let's say winning the AFC Conference Championship or winning the Super Bowl, I want to get pretty good odds. You have to assume the Chiefs are going to get a 1 or 2 seed. They're probably going to get a bye week because they're so good. So after they get the bye week, they're going to have to win 1 game and then 2 games to get to the Super Bowl. To win 1 game, let's say that's approximately 50-50, a little bit better. And to win the second game, that's another approximately 50-50. So we want to get at least 3-1 odds if we're going to make a profitable bet about them getting to the Super Bowl. So right now they're paying plus 210. So if you bet 100, that means you win $210 if they win the AFC Championship and get to the Super Bowl. So plus 210 seems a little bit low. I do like that there's a very big skill advantage that they have, and they're likely to have a home field advantage. So at plus 210, I might like the bet on the AFC side, but the odds aren't that exciting. I mean, you bet $100, you only win $210. You bet $1,000, you only win $2,100. So it's not that exciting. And just because they're so good, I really don't want to bet on any other team winning the AFC Championship. Maybe Baltimore, but Baltimore, for some reason, they can never beat the Chiefs. So, I mean, I don't get it. They actually seem like the better team to me going into week 3, but after last week, I just don't want to bet on the Ravens either. I just don't want to bet against the Chiefs. So I'm actually going to pass on all of the AFC bets and not bet on anything. So that brings us to the NFC, which I think is much, much more interesting. So first you have the division with Washington football team and the Cowboys. And that whole division sucks. So I'm going to pass on that whole division. Whoever wins that division, and we at this point don't know who's going to win the division, but I mean, they're probably going to get a 4 seed in the playoffs. And the other 3 teams, they're not going to get a wild card. They're just not going to get into the Super Bowl. So I think it's a waste of money to bet on one of them. You got the division with the Bucks and the Saints, 2 old guys, Brady and Breeze. So I'm going to hold off. I might bet on the Bucks just for fun because I'm a Brady fan, but I'm going to hold off. Like if they start the season out 4-1, I might decide to bet on them depending on what the odds are, depending on things. So I'm going to say the Bucks are maybe, the Saints are maybe, but I'm probably going to wait until after week 5 to make my bet. Right now, the odds are, I forget exactly what they were, but something like plus 1,200 in that ballpark to win the NFC Championship. But they got some really good teams that they have to go through. So I don't really think that's fantastic odds. But if I know for sure, let's say that or not for sure, but if I can make an educated guess that the Bucks are going to get the 4 seed in the playoffs, then I think I will make a bet on the Bucks. On one hand, just to cheer for Brady. On the other hand, if the odds are pretty good, like if I'm getting like plus 1,100 or so, plus 1,000 even, I think that might be a good bet, getting 10 or 11 times my money. But I want to make sure that they get the 4 seed or as close to sure as possible at this point. Let's see. That brings us to the division with Seattle, 49ers, Cardinals, and Rams. So all 4 of those teams are good. I made a small bet on the Rams today, getting 12-1. But to be honest, I don't even think it's a good bet because the Rams aren't even guaranteed to get into the playoffs. I mean, Seattle's good. The Rams are good. 49ers, they just have... I think their defense is going to be really good this year. Their defense was incredible last year. And, of course, they have a lot of the same players. So, yeah, I mean, Seattle is probably clearly the best team, but the odds are so bad. The odds are like plus 350 for Seattle winning the NFC conference. So if I had to guess, I would guess Seattle's getting into the Super Bowl. But because they have 3 other great teams in their division, I don't think Seattle is a fantastic bet right now because we're not even sure that Seattle's going to get a top 4 seed. We're not sure that the Rams are going to get a top 4 seed. So at this point, I'm also holding off on that division. And that brings us to the team that I think is the smart money bet right now. I bet on Green Bay at 7-1 odds to win the NFC Championship. And I actually wish that I bet more because now the odds dropped to plus 450. So Green Bay is in a relatively, well, actually they are in an easy division. The Bears have a new quarterback. So, I mean, to be starting off with a new quarterback at this point, I mean, I can't imagine that they're going to end up winning the division. And I would have to say that Green Bay is going to win the division. So let's say Green Bay, just for the sake of argument, let's say Green Bay does win the division. They're probably going to get a top 3 seed. I mean, Washington or the Cowboys is probably going to get the 4 seed. So that means Green Bay is going to get either a 1, a 2, or a 3 seed. And given that they're such a good team, it's normal to assume that they're probably going to get the 1 or 2 seed. I guess, mathematically they have a 67% chance of getting the 1 or 2 seed if we think they're for sure getting a top 3 seed. So unless something really dramatic happens, unless there's a big injury or something, I would have to assume that Green Bay is getting a top 3 seed, probably a top 2 seed. They're probably getting a bye week, which means they only have to win 2 games. So I would think that they're like the NFC version of Kansas City. I mean, Kansas City is probably the best team in the conference, and in this case, Green Bay might be the second best team, and Seattle might be the best team in the NFC. But I would much rather bet on Green Bay because of the easier division. The Bears, I don't think are going to be much competition long term. And then the other 2 teams, I mean, you forget about it. They're not winning the division. They're probably not getting the wild card. So I would have to think that Green Bay is alone winning the division. They're probably going to get, they're almost definitely going to get a top 3 seed. They're probably going to get a top 2 seed. And they're going to get that bye week. And then they're only going to have 2 games to win to get to the Super Bowl. So Seattle or whoever comes out of that division could be a problem. Seattle, 49ers, Rams, or Cardinals. But Green Bay is alone in their division, and I think the smart money has to go on Green Bay. At 4.5-1, I don't think it's a bad bet. I did bet a good amount of money getting 7-1 odds. So I'm a little disappointed I didn't bet more. I was actually hoping Green Bay would lose last week, so the odds would be better in my favor, so I could bet more on Green Bay. But I did bet on them winning the individual game, so I won money on that. And I think if I had to narrow it down, I would say Green Bay is the only team that I want to bet on winning the NFC Championship. I'm going to avoid betting on Green Bay to win the Super Bowl because I think if a super tough team like Kansas City or the Ravens make it to the Super Bowl, then they're going to have to go up against them. But since Green Bay does not have to play either the Chiefs or the Ravens until they get to the Super Bowl. I think the smart money is going on Green Bay winning the NFC Championship at 4.5 to 1 odds. I may or may not put more money in at 4.5 to 1. I think their true odds are somewhere around 3 to 1 or 4 to 1, since I'm pretty confident that they're getting a top 3 seed. So I hope this helped, and if you do like the video, please give me a thumbs up, and I will make more like this. If no one's interested, I'll stop making NFL videos. Bye, guys.